Hello and welcome to game 14 on the Countdown to the Spectrum. It's Wheelie, released by Microsphere in 1983 for £5.95. And we're going to get the obvious joke out of the way first, the very obvious joke, and say that this is Wheelie good. Okay, I'm going to say it because you know it was going to come up at some point, okay? It might even say it in the review. I wanted to beat the Crash review to it, to be honest. I haven't read it yet, but it's the sort of joke they would crack. So I'm getting it out of the way first because I thought of it and I'm going to say it. Created by David S. Reedy. It's an arcade game and an action style game according to this, and it got Crash Game of the Month in issue number 2. Wow, that's very early, in 1984. We're going to show that review. Obviously I think it's not the only review available, but it's the one I found anyway, and we always go with Crash, don't we? So that's not going to be news to you. This is a game I did play a heck of a lot when I was a kid, but how to describe it? Well, I'm going to let the case describe it to you because this is one for the records, this one. Okay, so this is what the case tells you the game is. You've just taken delivery of the ultimate two-wheeled machine, the 4-cylinder fuel-injected turbocharged ZX AKI 500. It's all written out as ZX AKI, but I'm assuming it's ZX AKI, but could be wrong. Cramming your head into a crash helmet, you clamber on and set off for a trial run. Your ride is fast, exhilarating and effortless as you lose all track of time. Soon your home is left far behind and you find yourself in a quiet, tree-lined country lane. Up ahead you notice a sign pointing off to the left. Private road, no speed limit to brave riders. At last, your chance to see how fast the bike will really go. You turn in through some old iron gates and open up the throttle. The bike surges forward, the engine roars, drowning out the sound of the gates slamming shut. You race on into a strange world, a world full of danger, a world where giant hedgehogs lie in wait to pounce on your harmless motorcycle, a world where giant hedgehogs lie in wait to pounce on harmless motorcyclists, a world where you'll need all the skill and courage to survive, the world of the Ghost Rider. That sounds creepy, doesn't it? Wheelie features super fast, 100% machine-coded action, optional joystick operation, most joysticks supported, a demonstration mode, and some of the best graphics you're ever likely to see on a Spectrum. So there we go. So be very afraid of giant hedgehogs. Basically is the moral here. I remember playing this game a lot. Like I said, don't remember loads about it. The thing about it is I don't actually remember what it was about. That's the thing. I think I just used to play this game. I used to enjoy it. We're going to see what Crash has to say about it. Microsphere seem to have done it again, following up their excellent train game with another wholly original, beautifully put together game in Wheelie. You've just taken delivery of the ultimate two-wheeled machine, the 4-cylinder fuel-injected turbocharged ZX AKI 500. While you're trying it out on a road, you see the sign saying private road, no speed limit to brave riders. All excited, you enter the driveway, the gates slam shut behind you and you're trapped in Nightmare Park. Your only way out now is to find the Ghost Rider who's dozing off somewhere to the right, wake him up and then race him back. The park is full of wildlife, all trained in karate. So bumping into any is not so good for the health. The screen display takes the form of 4 roads stacked one on another, almost like a cross section through caves. There are not always 4 visible, and any roads travelled may well go steeply up or downhill to another level. There are thin uphill downhill lines across some, and the bike will travel down a level if the down key is pressed, and the same for uphill. Apart from the vicious wildlife, including leaping kangaroos and giant hedgehogs getting their own back for truckers, there are other problems to be encountered. Humps in the road can only be got over by accelerating rapidly at the last second and doing a wheelie, front wheel riding up and over. Sometimes you have to jump over a bus. There's also ice on some roads which must be taken with caution. Running into a dead end will kill you off if you don't brake in time, and going downhill too fast can also be rather fatal. Gas stations are few and far between, so it's worth backtracking for them. To be promoted to a new level requires completing the one you're on, when you'll be given a code to let you enter the next one. Good riding. So that's the end of the actual review. The rest of it is all criticism. It always says criticism, but I think it's more general comments really. But as they call their last section comments, I guess you've got to really call it something else, haven't you? So we'll skip to the comments first, like we always do. I'm not going to bother telling you what the keys are. You'll find that out when you play the game yourself. Keyboard play is very responsive. Colour is good. Graphics excellent. Sound good. Excellent on bike effects. Skill levels several. Lives 4, screens new, regenerated and scrolling. General rating addictive, generally excellent, good value. And we have use of computer 89%, graphics 86%, playability 90%, getting started 95%, addictive qualities and value for money both 99%. That's pretty cool. And overall 93%. And while I read the criticism, we'll put some more gameplay footage up for you. It says, when I first saw another review of playing Wheelie, I thought that it was totally different and looked good. Then I got around to reviewing it, and my impression that it was a sort of scramble game faded. It's much more. Revs are important when jumping cars and buses. Too fast and the bike cartwheels, flinging the rider off. Too slow and you won't make it. Once you get to the end of the complex, you meet the Ghost Rider. The tune is played and the race back begins. You must beat him, but it has a distinct advantage. He can travel in a straight line across the screen, but only about a third of your top speed. All I can say is I spent about 3 hours playing before I remembered I was supposed to write something about it. Dangerously addictive game. Great, brill, fantastic. Words fail, just buy it. The makers boast Wheelie has some of the best graphics you're likely to see on a Spectrum. I'd like to think that there's still room for improvement as time goes by, but certainly these are exceptionally good. Smooth, very detailed with loads of animation. The spills the biker takes are all quite varied depending on the type of mischance he hits. It's all quite realistic. At first you might assume that you can memorize the layout of the caverns, but I'm afraid not. Each game they change. All in all, this is one of the most enjoyable games I've played for a long while, and I'm sure it's going to keep players entertained for hours. You're playing with the keyboard. It has a very sensible layout, but there's the menu for selecting Kempston or cursor type joystick, as well as a routine for setting up other joysticks via user-defined keys. Very good. As for the game, well, it's pretty good. Lovely graphics, very difficult and challenging. Excellent value. So there we have it. Wheelie. Let me know your memories of playing this game in the comments. As ever, mine are tied to me and my brother playing. It was one of those games where we would just like play until we ran out of lives and then we'd switch. But that's one of the things I like about games like this, when you don't get to memorize the layout because it changes. That's really cool, especially like when you are playing, two of you playing your own bike and then obviously playing the next life. It's cool that the person going second doesn't have that advantage of knowing the route. You know, it's all new. Yeah, I remember thoroughly loving this game when I was a kid. Absolutely loving it. It's funny, it doesn't stick out in my mind the same as like a School Days or something like that. Just as addictive. And when I was playing it for the video, I was having a lot of fun playing it, and this game did stick in my mind actually a little bit, and it did bring back those childhood memories, to be fair. It's just I don't really have like specific ones as such, but I do very much remember playing it. It's funny, I've got like vivid memories of some games in my head where I can't full on remember playing them, but I have like little flashbacks. One of those games, for some reason, I don't know if you remember this game. I think it's the motorbike that's reminding me of it. But there was a game that was made by the character who at the time who was advertising Skips crisps, you know, the prawn cocktail crisps. Clumsy Colin. I remember playing that game. I remember it was an awful game, but I remember playing that game, and that was about a bike. And just playing this game, it kind of shot that memory into my head. Wheelie's like way better than that game, by the way, just to let you know, in case you've ever played it and thought, well, God, don't compare the two. But it's just that little, you just get that little flashback. I think it was the being on a bike that reminded me, but very good game. Really enjoyed it, and I'm very much looking forward to playing it when the Spectrum comes out. I cannot wait to get more into this one. It was fun. It was a lot of fun doing it for the video, and I had a blast. Okay guys, thank you so much. As ever, you know, let me know in the comments if you've played it, if you've beaten it, any memories you have of how you played it, who you played it with, that sort of stuff. Always like to hear. And that's it for day 14. So yeah, we're getting there. In a couple of days time, we're only going to be a week away. It's absolutely crazy, isn't it? But yeah, time doesn't hang around, does it? So there we go. Pretty soon this countdown's going to be a distant memory like everything else, but you know, at the moment I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and it certainly is building the hype for me, and I hope it's working for you guys too. Okay everybody, thank you so much as ever. Take care, and see you tomorrow for day 15 of the countdown. Bye for now.